Hey everyone, how's it going? So next up we're going to be doing the first of the Zord Ascension project releases. This is the Zord Ascension project MZ0101. I guess that's season 1-1. That's my guess. Mighty Morphin Dino Megazord. It's part of the Lightning Collection. And this is one of the coolest boxes ever. I mean, just look at this thing. This is badass. The slipcover's a little weak, I won't lie. And I only know that because as soon as I opened this figure, my kitten got into it and started playing in it. And there's already a little tear. But it's really cool. Normally I don't delve into the interior of the packaging, but as part of the overall experience of this, and I'm gonna. So this is a nice, hefty box. Very high quality. They put a lot of effort into the box. So if you take off the slipcover, you can see the full artwork of the Megazord's head there. There's a QR code up there. Side of the box, you have a design. You have the design of the Megazord. Of the 5 Dinozords. Back, you have the Z symbol. Oh, and on the back of this, I didn't show this off. You've got the Megazord, tank mode, all 5 Dinozords, the 5 minifigures it comes with. But if you open this up, very elegant packaging. Like they really, I've never had a figure like this where opening the box was part of the experience. But we're gonna go ahead and go with it. I almost actually did an unboxing video when I got this, but I decided against it. So we have this artwork in here of the Megazord fighting Goldar, which is pretty cool. And then in here, you actually have, this is the coolest part, is that each, where each Zord is stored, it's based on the cockpit of the Megazord. So you've got T-Rex, Ranger, Power Coin, Zord, Ranger, Power Coin. It's really cool. But then you take these out. I'm not going to do this for all of them, but they're in these little baggies. I don't know why Hasbro's doing that. Oh, they're putting their figures in little bags. I don't know. I don't like. But other than that, the packaging's really awesome. And I think it's really cool. I'm actually really looking forward to the Dragon Zords box. I want to know how they're going to pull that one off. My guess is that I don't know if it's going to be as big, because the Dragon Zord's probably not going to be as big as the Megazord. But we'll see. We'll see. So, I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat, I will not be comparing this to the Soul of Chogokin in this video. I don't know. I may do another video separate for that. I don't know. I will be comparing this to Hasbro's previous attempt at Megazord, but not the Soul of Chogokin or any other one, just the Hasbro one specifically. So, let's go ahead and get our Dinozord boys into frame. So, we got the Pterodactyl, we got the Mastodon, we got the Tyrannosaurus, we got the Triceratops, and we've got the saber-toothed tiger. All right here, looking like the Dinozords. They look like the Dinozords. They are very good-looking Dinozords, for the most part. I'm going to talk about them all individually, of course, but as a unit, they actually look really nice together. I think. Especially when you compare them to... we'll do that individually. As a unit, they look really nice. I don't have many complaints about them. If you want to display them in this mode, go for it. Again, not going to do it. They do look nice as a unit. I'll put it that way. So let's go in morphing order. We'll talk about them all separately. So we're going to talk about the Mastodon first, because of course we are. His face is back to black. They flip-flop with that all the time between the gunmetal and the black. I don't know. He does have the covers back here, so the hands are covered like the Soul of Chogokin, which is pretty cool. He His front feet actually do move. That's the first time I think that's ever happened on a Mastodon. His head doesn't move anymore, but his tusks can kind of turn and his trunk can turn. His head doesn't move at all. Here's the little mini Black Ranger that comes with him. He's in his pose. He's got no paint, but this is actually a 2-scale Black Ranger compared, which is pretty cool. And if you open this up here, if I can get it. I know it works. I was doing it. I've been doing it a lot. Oh, come on. Okay, why don't you want to work? I cannot get this. I was getting it all day yesterday. I've been getting it every single time. I don't know why I can't get it now. Oh boy. Point is, there's supposed to be a cockpit in there. Where if you open it up, if you can get it to open, for some reason I can't seem to. I don't know. I'm gonna mess with that later. You can see it wanting to move. I'm not going to spend 20 minutes trying to open that up, but there's a cockpit in there that you'll see a Black Ranger sitting in, which is it's pretty cool when you can get it to work. For some reason, mine's not working today. The recording curse is real. I'm telling you. But, okay. Point is, Mastodon's pretty cool. He is painted very well. His feet aren't silver. They're dark gray, but that's okay. He is a little more stylized, though. He looks a lot more robotic. I guess that's the design they were going for. I don't know. But, you know, it does work. It does. Well, I'm done. I can't seem to get it out. But there you go. Pterodactyl. Pterodactyl's weird. His neck joint is pretty loose, and he can bend here for some reason. I don't really know why. But he can bend there. Her cockpit, I can actually get to. Pink Ranger in there. Her feet are huge, and you can't store these in the T-Rex chest like you could in the original. Oh, I forgot something. Mastodon. Here he is with Hasbro's first attempt at a Mastodon. Yeah, it's a bit of a night and day difference. A little bit of a difference here. It's not even close, honestly. But back to Pterodactyl. Here's the Pink Ranger. She's also in her little pose. But speaking of pterodactyls, here we have Hasbro's last pterodactyl. Yeah, again, her feet are a lot smaller than this one's. And again, the back detail is here on the Zord Ascension project. It's not here on the Hasbro First Ton. Wings are a lot better. The head's a lot better. This one's just far superior. Not that Pterodactyl's ever been great, but you know. Now Triceratops. Here he is. Here's the little Blue Ranger. Little pose. His legs do extend out, just like Zord, which is pretty cool. His head does turn. He can look up a little bit, and his mouth does open. The horns don't do anything. The gun, however, The tail can be a gun, which is pretty nice. I do like that. Unfortunately, this one also doesn't have wheels. We haven't had wheels on a Megazord since the original. It is what it is. Here he is compared to the Hasbro one. This feels a lot like the Legacy one, Legacy 2010 one. Whereas, yeah, this is just not even a contest. This one I think is one of the bigger improvements between the two. Mastodon was a big improvement too, but this is crazy compared to this one. It's not even fair. And then we have the saber-toothed tiger, which is a little bit on the iffy side for me because the inside of legs are hollow, which when you're paying as much money as you're paying for this, I don't really want hollow parts. And the neck, if it goes all the way down, he can't look up straight. His mouth does open, though. And the paws don't move at all, which is weird that they didn't put articulation in the paws. He has knees in all of his legs, but the paws don't move, which is just weird to me. I don't know. I mean, he can stand up. He stands up just fine, but he looks a little awkward because of the legs. I mean, I guess if you could do something like this and make it look less awkward. Something about the legs makes this one feel awkward. His tail does come up like a gun. And here's the cockpit in the head. There's the Yellow Ranger in there. Triceratops, as I missed this, is in his horn. Again, Yellow Ranger, little pose. Mouth does open. Here it is compared to the Hasbro original one. And this one was kind of the worst of the bunch of the first Hasbro one because the legs just don't stay in place. It was missing so much paint. And it just kind of looked very blah. And just doesn't function very well. Again, it feels a lot like the 2010 one. This one much, much better. But this one I think is the weakest of the bunch in the Zord Ascension project, personally. That's just me. And of course we have the Tyrannosaurus, which is a little weird for me. He's not bad, but like the way the legs work, the best way to do it is to get them down like this, which doesn't look right. It's supposed to be more like this. More like this. But then he like looks strange. He's a weird beast. He does have elbow articulation, but his hands are in this fixed pose. I kind of wish he had alternate hands if they didn't want to make them move. He does have a waist swivel. His arms, his head can go up and down. His mouth does open. His legs are actually very well articulated. These can move. His legs can go out. His tail doesn't really move, unfortunately. But yeah, like I said, the best way to do it is to kind of get his legs like this. And then, smack the camera like a dunce. Then, he's got his cannons in his mouth again. And his cockpit's up here. So you got the Red Ranger in there. Speaking of which, here's the Red Ranger. Little figure that comes with him. It's pretty cool. He is very well painted. He looks very nice. And here he is with the Hasbro first one. I keep saying first one, this is the first one ever, and it's the Hasbro's first one. This one is just gross. He's got no paint in his head. His legs are all sorts of wrong. These ones were missing a lot. Like, look at the tail. Like, I get this is more for the kids, but this is like night and day. This one's far better than this one. But they can, of course, combine. So let's go ahead and combine them, shall we? We're going to first go into the tank mode, and then we will compare the tank modes. So, transform this one. We're going to put her fangs up, push her head down, push her legs up, push the tail in. There we go. It's very much business as usual when it comes to these. So, push these in, tail down, boom, there you go. This is a little tricky. Legs come out, like so. Open this up. Then I found the best way is to hold on to this piece as you pull the leg down. And then the leg's gonna come up like that. So, a lot of people complain about this part, and it is a little tight, but it's actually not as hard as people are making it out to be. Then just get the joint up to where you want it. Or the peg rather, kind of like that, and then just plug them in like so. There you go. All right, get these arms up like that. Get the head looking up a little bit, and we're gonna keep going. So take the mastodon, pull his head off, and this part I don't like at all. You gotta just pop these off. Why? Why can't they just fold in? Regardless, open these up. I'll get to what those do in a minute. Open those up, fold this out, and then that's gonna plug in back here. Take this, get this tab right here, and that's gonna slot in right there. There you go. All right. Then we're gonna take the guns, pull them off. They're gonna plug in to the bottoms of the feet on the mastodon. Fold the wings in. Then these clips are going to plug into these slots on the back of the mastodon's feet. And there we have, boom, the Megazord in its tank mode. And you know, as typical with Megazord tank modes, it is what it is. The tank mode has always been kind of just, it's here because we say it's here, rather than being like an essential transformation mode, you know what I mean? It's cool that you could do it. And I mean, we see this mode a lot in the American version because they constantly use the whole stock footage transformation rather than just cutting like G-Ranger did. But you know, it's part of the transformation sequence, and I'm glad that they were able to show it off. I do like some transformation bits on this one, though. I do like that the mastodon head attaches a lot more easily. I also like that the pterodactyl attaches a lot more easily. And the arms on the mastodon, when he transforms to the arm mode, actually pretty subtle. They're not super floppy like the Legacy or the original were. So that's pretty cool. And overall, it is a decent looking tank mode, especially compared to the Hasbro one. 'Cause, my gosh, you got the hollow bits in there, just like the 2010. There's a lot of similarities to the 2010 one in this one. The mastodon head hanging like that. Yeah, it's just, this one is so much better than this one in basically every regard. I forgot to put the Tyrannosaurus arms up, but not like that's going to make much of a difference. And I hate the connection piece up here. And, you know, I'm sure there are some tank mode enthusiasts out there. Not my favorite mode, never has been, never will be. But it is what it is. Now, let's get to the Megazord proper. Take the pterodactyl off. Take the guns off. They're going to plug into the back of the mastodon feet very tightly. very tightly. The tail is going to fold up and just kind of rest back there. I'll get back to that. Take the arms and fold them in. There we go. Pull off the mastodon head and just raise everything up. Straighten the legs out. Now this is where those pieces of the mastodon that I ripped off before come into play. And as I was saying, so these are going to plug into the bottom of the feet for some reason. But yeah, they go there. They help stabilize the foot. But that's... I'll get to how I feel about that later. But when I can get them in there... There we go. So they do actually help stabilize them. So there we go. And he does actually get pretty freaking big, so. Pterodactyl, typical transformation. Open up the chest, push the head down. Clip the pterodactyl in. Open up the horns. And bam, there you go. Megazord is fully transformed. And he looks good. He does look very nice. He's big. He is the biggest transformable Megazord we've ever gotten. At least in terms of this design. Not like ever, but this design, he is the biggest we've gotten. And it's a pretty nice looking Zord. I do like a lot of transformation bits. I do like how the clips and the wings are just behind the wings. That's pretty cool. I do like how the top of the tail folds down again. Should always fold down. I don't know why they've been omitting that in some releases. But it does work. Where this one excels is articulation. This is the most articulated Megazord we have ever gotten. And it's fantastic. So, his head, full 360. Not really. He can turn left, he can turn right. It's his. He would be able to do it, but stack design. Looks up, looks down. Arms can go in and out at the shoulder. Pop the chest piece off like a freaking terrorist. Full 360 on the arms. Bicep, and again, he does feel more solid in his posability than Soul Chigokin does. Elbow joint. Wrist. It goes out there. He has a waist. Which, speaking of that, if you actually pop off the tail, you can just clip the tail in back here. And then you could just turn without having to move the tail off. That's actually really cool. I like that. His legs can go. Okay, yeah, that's an issue we'll get to in a little bit when we talk about the negatives. Go forward. They can't really go back, but that's okay. They could sort of turn up here. He's got a single knee joint here. And you could use the transformation joint to get the knee to go even further back. He's got ankle. And he's got toe. So yeah, you can get this guy into a lot of poses, which is something Hasbro has nailed. Oh, and these, the Mastodon tusks, Mastodon feet, can move forward to actually let you use the cannons over the shoulder. I don't know that he ever did that in the show, but you can do it. So that's really, really, really nice. And if there's something I'm going to give this Megazord, it's extremely poseable. You can get him into any pose you want. Also, you could pop off the face, and you could see the little Rangers in there. Yay! That's not a feature I ever needed or wanted, but it's cool that it's there, I suppose. Accessory-wise, he actually does have alternate hands. I'll get to those in a minute. With the Mastodon, I still can't open the damn thing. Something a lot of reviewers are missing is that they don't think the trunk can move at all. You could turn it like that, and it'll look more accurate to the shield mode. There you go. He can hold the sword in his hand. So now we've got some Megazord battle ready action, and it looks awesome. And I'm actually really, really impressed with it. You can pop off the hand and give him kind of an open hand, and he just looks really cool. Oh, wow. So, a couple of gripes I do have with it. The leg joints here are admittedly a little loose, more than I'm comfortable with, but I've been able to mitigate it for the most part. It's not really a deal breaker, but it's something to be pointed out. The pterodactyl, as you saw in this video, can be a little bit of a bitch to stay on, especially if you're trying to pose it. She will pop off from time to time, which I feel like is going to be even worse if we ever get a Titanus in this line. We'll see. But in terms of playability, this is the most poseable Megazord we've ever gotten, which is great. Transformation is just as fun as always. However, I do think that the Soul of Chogokin is still the best Megazord we've gotten, if only because it looks more accurate to the one in the show, and it doesn't have those transformation issues with like the pterodactyl that I was just mentioning. If you don't have a Megazord, you really should go ahead and grab this, because it's the one you're going to be able to find right now, and it's good enough that if you don't have the Soul of Chogokin, this is a pretty solid stand-in, especially with the Dragazord and Titanus. Well, we don't know about the Titanus, but at least the Dragazord is for sure coming out. I do think that the hate this thing has been getting from some people on the internet is a little unjustified. It's a little light. I won't lie. The box is heavier than the figure, which is a little surprising. But it doesn't feel crappy in your hand. It does feel like Hasbro did put a lot of thought into this figure. There are some things I could have lived without. Like, I definitely could have lived without the face coming off. And because of that, I don't think the horns go in all the way because of that. I could have definitely lived without, that. I could have lived without the minifigures. I could have probably lived without the cockpits. You know what I mean? I like this. I think this is cool. I could have lived without the cannons moving. And I really wish these didn't just pop off. I really wish they folded into the shoulders like the Soul of Chogokin. That aside, I do actually quite like the ZAP, the Zord Ascension Project Megazord. I do think it's very, very solid. Especially when you compare it to Hasbro's previous Megazord. Like, this is just a night and day difference. It's really, I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's almost worth it for the box alone. But I do think the positives outweigh the negatives. I like the way it looks. I like the way it transforms. It feels like Soul Jogokin felt like an antique. You didn't really want to play with it. It looked amazing. It felt really good. But didn't feel like something you can mess around with because of how heavy it was. This guy feels like one of the MPMs, like a Masterpiece movie line, where you can still mess with it. It still feels like a collector's item, but it still feels like something you can pick up and mess with. It's a good balance. I do like this a lot more than a lot of the MPMs. So I think he's very solid. I enjoy him quite a bit, especially after hearing all the meh about him on the internet. I was actually pleasantly surprised when I opened that out of the box. I was like, this is nowhere near as bad as everyone's making it out to be. And especially now that no review I've seen is pointing this out. It's not perfect, but I do think if you don't have the Soul of Chogokin, this is a very good substitute for it. If you don't have a Megazord, you really should grab this because it's the one that's out right now. And if you wait any longer, the price is just going to go up. So this has a solid recommendation from me. I quite enjoy him. I hope you guys, too, do as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. I'm sorry I couldn't get the Mastodon's cockpit open. And it's really going to bother me. I don't know why I can't get it open. I really don't. You know what's going to happen? After this video, I'm going to be able to get it open. I'm going to be able to get it open tomorrow. And it's going to bother the fuck out of me. But, anywho, thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope you have a great day. Take care.